r/ask ReadIT. What's the worst Christmas gift you've received that you had to pretend to like?
My aunt loves to give gag gifts. It's become a tradition. The first time she did it, she gave my mom a plastic banana. My mom must have been thinking, WTF, but to be polite she said, "Thank you so much, I really needed this." A lot of the family was there and we were all trying so hard not to laugh.
Pink, hot, super thick fleece PJs from my aunt. We live in Florida. I never wore them because Florida. Like I'm pretty sure they were a fire hazard. I also was not a fan of pink.
My nan got me a Weight Watchers 6-month subscription 3 months after I had a baby. Skull.
I got a geography book when I was like 12. Had mentioned to my dad that I was really bad at everything geography related, and my guess is that he thought it was a nice gift that I could actually use for something. I had no interest in geography, and like the stupid kid I was, I didn't appreciate it that much. I still have the book and I've begun using it to learn, like my dad intended so many years ago. I realize now that while the book wasn't a fantastic fit for a child my age, it was a well-intended and thoughtful gift that showed how much my dad paid attention to what I said.
When the Tamagotchi craze was in full swing, my siblings and I asked for one. My sisters both got one, and I got a jacket because mine was torn up and small. When I asked my dad why I didn't get one and if Santa thought I did something bad that year, he told me I was too old for Santa and needed to learn life isn't fair. I was 8. My sisters were 7 and 5. From that point forward I only ever received clothing.
A Lamborghini calendar. My brother got a guitar and amp. My 2 sisters got a bike each. Buck, I hate Lamborghinis now.
Looking back, it wasn't a bad present, but when I got a pair of pants for Christmas when I was 6, I started crying and screamed out, "You're supposed to give me these anyways."
My mom is notorious for bad presents. I've had such delights as toothpaste and vitamin pills wrapped up for me at Christmas. But one that stands out was a car crash kit. It had a disposable camera for recording the scene, a form for both parties to fill out, a tape measure for measuring. I don't know, stuff and some chalk, for what I assume was for marking out where the dead bodies landed, or something, I don't know.
A few years ago my sister gave me a diet book for Christmas. My whole family knows I've had an eating disorder for 23 years.
A dish towel. I was 8 years old.
My mom asked what my 13-year-old daughter wanted for Christmas, and I said, "She likes to sew." How this led to our entire extended family buying her nothing but yarn I do not know. That was 2 years ago, and there's still so much yarn.
Years ago, I worked for a company owned by the richest man in Minnesota. One year, all of us pins, and there were a couple thousand of US, got a copy of his book. It was all about how he became the richest man in Minnesota. Cheap bastard.
A $6 toaster from the center aisle of Walmart. Problems. 1. I don't like toast. 2. I had a toaster. 3. The person that bought it for me knew both 1 and 2, because she lived with me. She was definitely the "it's the thought that counts" thought optional type.
When I was a lot younger, my parents got me a no fear sweater. I had never had any no fear merchandise nor wanted any when I was that age, so I asked why they got it for me. They thought I had a fear of pooping, so that's why they got it for me. To clarify, I just avoided it at times because I felt like I could have been using that time more productively, like playing video games or looking at my Pokemon cards.
So I was dating a guy for a few months when Christmas rolled around. He had recently started a new job that required travel, and this was before smartphones and built-in GPS in your car were common, so I splurged a bit and got him a Garmin to help him find his way. Thoughtful, useful, but not too sentimental, it felt perfect for where the relationship was at the time. Due to schedules, we couldn't get together until a few days after Christmas. In my haste to go see him, I walked right out the door without his gift. I didn't realize it until I got to his house and I felt terrible, but he said, "No worries, I'll give you your gifts now and I'll just get mine later." Cool. So he goes into the other room and comes back with 2 wrapped gifts. I noticed some of the paper was messed up like it had been rewrapped, but didn't think much of it in the moment. I carefully unwrapped the first package. It was an MMA magazine that had clearly been read. I was confused. I do not like MMA. Not even a little bit. Nor have I ever expressed interest in MMA. Not once. He, on the other hand, loved all things MMA. Trying to move on, I politely thanked him, set the magazine down, and refocused on the next gift. I could tell it was a DVD from the shape of the package. And indeed, it was a DVD. A Forrest Gump DVD. With the cellophane wrapper missing. Now don't get me wrong, Forrest Gump is a solid choice. Except, I already owned a Forrest Gump DVD. And now here I was suddenly the proud owner of a second copy that appeared used. I again thanked him and sat there quietly, trying to wrap my head around how he could have arrived at the conclusion that a used magazine on a topic I didn't like and a second-hand DVD of something I already owned would make for good Christmas gifts. He also got a little quiet, then sheepishly volunteered.
I got bored, so I watched the movie yesterday.
I just stared.
And then I hadn't seen that issue yet, so I went ahead and read through it. I think you'll really like it.
I slowly responded, "So, you got me a magazine because you wanted to read it and then watched the movie you got for me because you were bored?" His only response was,
"Well, yeah, I guess so."
I left not long after. The next day, I returned the Garmin for a full refund. About a week later, he called and said he didn't think it was working out. "No problem," I said, "I don't think it's working out either." As we were wrapping up the call, expressing well wishes and all that, he paused for a beat and said,
"Hey, were you still going to give me that Christmas present?"
TLDR, MMA magazine that had been read and a used Forrest Gump DVD. Edit, spelling.
When I was 11, I woke up hungry on Christmas morning and the furnace was out of fuel. My mom was in a deep bout of depression and couldn't get out of bed. No presents, no tree, no stockings, no dad, no food. I pretended everything was fine because I was worried about my mom. I just wanted her to recover.
I feel I may have been a bit better off, but I can relate to your story. I'm an only child and folks were divorced since I was 6. When I was 9 or 10, my alcoholic, diet pill-popping mother with a lifelong eating disorder decided to postpone Christmas because she was having a breakdown of some sort. This was around the time she came home drunk and passed out, and I had to get our neighbor and we called 911. No hospital trip, but I recall that sorry kid eyes from the responding medics. Turns out she'd been eating Dexatrim like candy for days. Probably also some strife with her latest man, who was always damaged goods via current or past cocaine addiction. I don't recall the exact central fuckery, but we had a tree with gifts, and just had to wait a week to open things together. To this day, in my late 40s now, I don't know if I should have been angry or compassionate. All I remember being was sad, and that somehow felt selfish. I didn't have the emotional maturity to know how to properly deal with it. Haven't thought about this in a long time.
A 25-foot roll of bubble wrap, as a gag gift from my BF at the time of 6 years. We never did gag gifts or anything before, so it was very out of place. The looks on the faces of my family were like WTF. It made me feel stupid, like it was a simple gift for a simple mind. I got him a new Gen Xbox and some games, so like $800 or something like that.
The time I was really into Green Day and the emerging alternative music of the mid-90s. And my mom bought me a few CDs, back when CDs were something stupid like $20 each. Wow. Awesome gift. except the CDs were Toni Braxton and Mariah Carey and something else I've completely forgotten. Or the Christmases when my brother would get a pile of presents or something pretty expensive, foosball table, air hockey table, etc., and I'd get a couple books and lip gloss. I love those things, so the gifts themselves weren't bad, but I was clearly not the favored child. In the aftermath of gift opening, Mom would look at the pile my brother got and the few gifts I got, then make a big show of stomping around the house claiming she knows she got more for me. She must have misplaced all the other gifts. Without fail, for several years in a row, she misplaced my gifts. Because she realized in the moment that she spent way more on my brother than me. Never once did she find these misplaced gifts. And to make it worse, my birthday is shortly after Christmas, so I never got much for my birthday because the budget was blown on Christmas. My brother claims he remembers me getting shitty birthday gifts, and I was always jealous of his. I don't have any memory of that, but it very well could be. The worst birthday was the year I only got a Bible with my name stamped on the front in gold lettering. That's a birthday I remember quite clearly.